So you are here for Knitting 101, and you might be in the wrong room. Just kidding. You're here for automation and segmentation. I like to call it the dynamic duo because they work together, and you're going to find out why today. And let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name is Hank Hoffmeyer. I am the Senior Manager of Client Solutions here at iContact. I'm also known as the Digital Marketing Infotainer because I like to make marketing fun and successful. I'm going to let you be the judge of that today. And I'm joined by Nirali. She's one of our customer success managers. She's always got a smile on her face and she's always wanting to help her customers. And she's here to help us navigate the wonderful world of segmentation and automation. Thank you, Nirali, for joining me today.
Thanks, Hank.
I like to think of myself as being lazy-ish. I'm not really lazy per se, as I don't do anything. And if you follow me on social media, you know I'm not lazy when it comes to content. But when it comes to doing things in my home, I like to optimize my day. I can unlock my door as I'm walking up to it. Once my phone connects to my door lock, it unlocks it. I can lock it. I automate my house security system by arming it, disarming it from my phone. I have those special smart lights. I have all these things in my house that I automate. And also when I shop, like say eBay, which I always find good deals on eBay, I use their filtering system or their feature for filtering. I go and say, I only want to look at used items between $50 and $100 that are green or something like that. I filter them out so that I can find exactly what I'm looking for without having to scroll endlessly to find that perfect product to bid on or buy now. I also use filters in Amazon from time to time, but it's always great to automate things when you can and to use filters when possible to save yourself time and a headache. So I'm lazy-ish. Hopefully you followed along with that. Now, when it comes to email marketing, we could probably throw a whole bunch of different stats at you and just bore you to death with stats. And we don't want to do that. Well, actually, we do. We want to make sure you know how important email marketing is. Nirali is going to tell us how important it is.
Sure. Thanks, Hank, for the warm introduction. And thank you, everyone, for joining today. So I'm going to talk a little bit about why email is the best channel for marketing for this many years. What makes it so effective, and why people prefer email as their favorite method of communication. So based on the research, there are 40% email marketing is 40 times more effective at acquiring new customers compared to other marketing channels like social media, pay-per-click, and direct mails. Based on Pew Research, there are 61% of Americans who use their internet. They believe that email is very important for doing their jobs. There are 83% of B2B marketers use email newsletters for their content marketing. So before I started working for iContact a few months ago, I thought email marketing is very easy. I mean, you just acquire a list and send out your emails, right? I was totally wrong. I learned so much about email marketing over this time, both tactical and technical, and I'm still learning more and more every day. And marketing automation is still new, and now we see augmented reality starting to grow legs. So we all know how powerful email marketing is. I'm not here to throw stats at you, but catch me later if you want to talk about it. So moving to the next. What makes email so effective? First of all, everyone uses it. There are 95% of consumers use emails. In fact, to sign up for a social media, you need an email address. It helps you to improve your brand awareness. It's a place where most people visit every day, their inboxes. It actually helps to introduce you with the other marketing channels like social medias. You can actually target your audience and provide personalized experience and higher your engagement with them. Can you believe there are 72% of consumers say that email is their favorite method of communication with the companies they do business with? Let's take an example of salon. Everybody needs a haircut now and then. I tend to use coupons for when I get my haircut done. And my salon is so good at reminding me that now it's the time. They nudge me to come back. And this is an effective email marketing behavior based on your previous shopping behavior. So you might also be getting many emails from the shops or services you shop earlier with. So this is how you can use email marketing, and Hank will let us know more about how effectively you can use it. Over to you, Hank.
Thank you. Appreciate all that information. Now we know why email marketing is important. And now we need to start talking about how to configure your IoT devices to do what you want them to do when you come home. Just kidding. We're here for segmentation and automation. Let's back up. If you use segmentation, go ahead and put segmentation in the chat. If you use automation also or separately, go ahead and put automation in the chat. I want to know if you're currently using them, because if you're not, we're here to inspire and show you how to use these two features effectively, because you need to be using them. I'm seeing some people are actually using both of these features, or at least one. Maybe you're here because you want to use it more effectively, or you want to use it differently. Keep in mind, if we don't answer your questions or give you the inspiration you need, make sure to watch our other webinars, our other videos, look at our help portal, contact your customer success manager, look at our support and documentation, contact support if you need help. That's what we're here to do to help you, but mostly we're here to inspire you and answer some questions today. When it comes to segmentation, if you don't use segmentation, it's basically a filtered view of your list. Now, you see it pour over coffee here. I don't use pour over. I actually use a French press. Kind of similar, but it's not filtering. The water is being put in, is filtering out through the beans, which are ground up and put into a cup. Think of segmenting your subscriber base as creating a filter. You have a list of subscribers, 100,000, 10,000, a million. If you're lucky, you say, I want to know all subscribers that live in Raleigh, North Carolina. And if you collect the information around where people live, you can create a segment, a simple one, of people on this list that live in Raleigh, North Carolina. City equals Raleigh, North Carolina. That would be maybe 10, 20, 50% of your list, which is called a segment, and you can send an email to that segment. Segments are important too. Yes, more statistics. You can have a higher click-through rate by simply sending the right message to the right person. Believe that? I do. 86% of users are more likely to respond to an email if you send them the right email. You send them emails they want rather than just saying, blah, here's my spam, right? You want to make sure people like what they're receiving. All right, quiz time. I bet you didn't think there'd be a quiz this early or at all in a webinar. According to the DMA. Now, if you've been on this webinar before and you've seen this quiz question, don't answer it, please. But according to the DMA, marketers have found a blank % increase in email revenue from segmenting campaigns. In other words, you can make a lot more money by sending the right email to the right person. How much % of an increase do you think you can get by using segmentation? In the chat, go ahead and let me know. 45%. Anyone else want to take a guess? 85. Let's go into triple digits, folks. 110, Lisa said. Diana, 150. I'm going to close it out in 3, 2, and 1. So Sydney, you are the closest because you should be getting a higher ROI from email marketing. And on average, it could be as high as 760%. So Sydney, what I'd love to do is if you send an email to webinars@icontact.com, I want to send you an iContact sticker. Now, I know everybody else is jealous and they want their sticker. If you can go ahead and tag us in a post on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn with a quote or testimonial about how you use iContact, or if you send me a example of what you're doing, landing page, email, or something, to show us how great it is to use iContact or how effectively you're using it. I can also contact you and send you a sticker of your very own to display iContact proudly on your laptop, your mug, or whatever you want. So Sydney, make sure you do that. But also make sure you're using segmentation, folks. You want to give people what they want. Let them feel like it's a gift in their inbox, that they want to take the bow, unwrap it, and go ahead and read your email. Today's consumer is a little bit different. I like to call them an empowered consumer. We all have these things called a mobile device. We can go hands-on and do research around the products and services we want. We know where to find this information, whether it's on a website, Reddit, Facebook, asking for recommendations. And we know people are vocal. If they have a bad experience with your product or service, they're going to say something on Yelp, on Google, definitely on Twitter. You know, if they're on Twitter, they're going to say something about the experience they had with you. But they have a good experience with you, they may also leave a positive review or give you referrals. These empowered consumers are also committed. If you give them value, support, and a good price, they're going to stay committed by giving you business repeatedly and again, refer you more business. We are now global. People can buy anything or look for information from anywhere in the world. I could ship chocolates to Belgium. Well, I'd probably want to have it be the other way around, but yes, I could do that. I can make travel plans right from here, which I did the other night, going on another cruise next year to the Caribbean, which I love because it's warm. Now that the world's opening up, we're getting less and less concerned. And I put this on this slide quite recently around the time the pandemic came, because we started worrying about our health, about our friends and family, how much money we're making, and we worry about our job and maybe leaving our job. So today's empowered consumer is more concerned than ever. More importantly than creating segments and knowing about this empowered consumer, you need to know who you're talking to so you can put the right content in your emails. You need to develop something called a persona. I like to call it an avatar. What does your perfect customer look like? Let's say I do business and I sell technology items like laptops or computers. And somebody that might be my audience is Sally, and she's female, a little bit younger, lives outdoors. She likes to cook at home. Not me. I don't like to cook at all. And she lives on the West Coast. And then we have Sam. He's a young male. He likes technology. He eats out often and lives on the East Coast. Now, let me ask you a question. Would I want to send Sally an email, 9:00 Eastern time, an email about my latest laptop that I'm trying to sell so that Sally would buy it? The answer is no. I'm going to save you your keystrokes. The answer is no. But maybe there's an opportunity because maybe Sally's looking for a gift for somebody like Sam. There's ways to figure that out. But really, I have two different personas. Now, for you, you could have one persona, you could have 10 personas, or somewhere in between. Go ahead and start mapping out who your persona is so you can, number one, segment effectively, and then number two, send the right message and content to them to make them want to do business with you. There are 4 pillars of segmentation in my eyes. The first one is geographic. That's going to be where they're located, country, city, and density. Then we have demographic, which is their age, gender, income, education, and what kind of occupation they have. Well, what industry are they in? This one is my favorite, psychographic. Lifestyle, values, concerns, personality, attitudes, and AIO, activities, interests, and opinions. This bit of information, which you can normally get through surveys and or having people update their profile, is really powerful. If you include this information in your emails, look out. Your ROI is going to skyrocket. Now, the last one is behavioral. What are people doing or not doing? Are they opening, not opening, clicking, not clicking? Do they visit your website? Maybe you can connect Google Analytics and also use some cookies on your website to track people to find out if they're visiting your website or not. You want to look at the signals people are giving you or not giving you. Also, A lot of times people look at what people are not doing. They're not buying, they're not opening. But what about people who are always opening, always clicking, always buying from you? Are you rewarding them? You should. You want to make sure you keep those people coming back and talk about you. So when it comes to segmentation, remember these two things. The best way to segment is based on content that you have or information you have, location, geographic information, financial, whatever that is, or their behavior. What are they doing or not doing? So how do we get information from subscribers, period, or from the beginning? I'm going to hand it back over to Neerly, and she's going to talk about getting information from your subscribers.
Thanks, Hank. So I have a question for you. What's the best way you use to collect information from your potential subscribers? You can use the chat as well. Let me know.
I sometimes take a clipboard and go out in the street and start talking to people. No, just kidding. I think I'm weird if I did that. Yeah. So folks, how are you currently getting information? And it's an open-ended question. How are you getting information from your subscribers right now?
You get iContact sticker for this.
I guess that's Microsoft Forms to do surveys during webinars. Nice. Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's
we do the same thing.
Surveys.
We don't use Microsoft.
There you go. You are right. It's surveys. And exactly, that's gonna be the answer for my next question.
They're reading our mind.
I think so. So what are the most effective way to collect surveys? It's a sign-up form. So I have various examples I want to show you guys today about the sign-up forms, how you can utilize various sign-up forms on your websites. So let's start with looking at this one, ColorPop. So it has really simple form at the bottom of their website, and they offer a coupon to whoever is signing up. Who doesn't like discounts or gift coupons? I just love it. And I don't even mind signing up for something I use frequently. Let's check out another. It's a Bath and Body Works. I'm a regular customer for this. So theirs is also really simple. They use a confirmation email tab to make sure that there is no error in the email they are getting from us. My favorite. This one is a very interesting and creative way to get information from your customers. Don't let your potential subscribers leave your website without signing up your emails. Use pop-ups. Use exit intent pop-ups. Exit intent is when someone goes to leave your website, you show this form to them and ask them to subscribe. And the normal pop-up works based on the timely behavior or based on your scrolling behavior. This is a really good example of sign-up forms. Okay, so you got the information. You got the email from your subscribers or potential clients, mentioning that you should only ask for what you need, right? But when it's okay to ask for more information from your customers. Nowadays, consumers have come to expect one-on-one experience from their brands. By getting more information from your consumers, you get more opportunities to know more about them. And based on that, you can provide more personalized experience. Let's check out another example of collecting information. So this is the best two examples I got about these sign-up forms. Like first one is for the restaurant. There are many restaurants who provide free meals or special discounts on your birthdays. Everybody are aware of this, right? So this is the campaign where you can ask for their birthdays from your consumers. You can ask which city they live in so that you can offer such discount based on their location. Another example is for travel enthusiasts just like me. If I'm planning to visit any country or any location which I don't have much information for, this is the best way to sign up for a newsletter. You can give choices to your consumers, like if they want to know more about restaurants or if they want to know more about their opening hours and closing hours. If your customers are interested to know more about the events happening in the town during your visit, if they just want to stay in a loop, they just want to get some deals or want to know more about the shopping offers in that location. So you can actually give liberty to your consumers. They can select from and sign up for your newsletters. This is how they don't get bombarded with all the emails you send out, right? So these are two best example we can get. Next is QR codes. QR codes are really good way to drive your potential subscriber to a landing page for sign up. And since the pandemic started, QR code has really made a comeback. And with your new smartphone capabilities, it's really easy to use. Okay, so all we talked about how to gather information, how you can more effectively use sign-up forms, what mediums you can use to get information. So once you gather your contacts, you are all set to create a segment. And segmentation we use to provide personalized experience to our subscriber, as we talked earlier. So this is how you can go to your iContact account and create a segment. Personalization is something your subscribers love. Instead of sending out every email to every subscribers, it ensures that only subscriber who meets specific requirement, they receives the email. And that way the content is more relevant and they are more likely to be interested in, and ultimately that improves your engagement rate. So this is an example of the segment I created. So once you go to your iContact page, go to contact, click on segment, it will give you the tab to create segment, where you can put the information like segment name. You can select a source if you want to create a segment out of all your subscribers, or if you want to create out of a specific list, or if you want to create a segment based on your previous send messages. Once you select your source, the next thing you would do is create a specific list subscriber based on specific criteria. So based on content field or date the contact added to the account, as well as the action taken by the particular contact on your previous messages. And once you select this criteria, for example, I have created a segment criteria based on the action they took on my previous emails. For example, I want to create a segment for people who clicked on my emails for past 6 months. Once you select all the condition and select a value, all you need to click is save, and you are all set to send out your next email. So this is how I created my segment. Let us know how you use segmentation, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Let me know in your chat.
We kind of know also while you're doing that, we want to know how and why you're using segmentation, because it's hard for us to put together a webinar based on your needs. Somebody on the webinar might have a specific need and somebody else has something totally different. That's why we're hoping to encourage you to go into your iContact account, look at the segmentation, play around. You're not going to break anything. We have a great support team. We have our customer success managers. You have me around. Any help you need, we're going to get. And if we have a lot of time at the end of today's webinar, what we're going to do is hop in and we can do some real-time segmentation. But we don't want to really get too granular, but just remember, you can look at what people lists are on all your subscribers. You can look at what's called the standard or custom fields. So first name, last name, city would be standard. Then you can create custom fields, favorite color, date of last login. I mean, not date of last purchase, expiration date, subscription date, whatever you want. And you can use all of these as an and or an or segment. Lives in Raleigh, North Carolina, and has made a purchase in the last 6 months, or lives in Raleigh, North Carolina, or Hempstead, New York. The possibilities are endless. So you can look at what people are doing, opening, not opening, clicking, not clicking, where they sent the message, not sent the message. There's just so many different things. And then there's the time frames, equals. It gets really complex and it's hard to go through. And probably an AMA or Ask Me Anything would be the most appropriate for that. So if you're interested in doing an AMA, send an email to webinars@icontact.com. And if I get maybe 2 or more people to say they want to do that, I'll set it up, send an invite, and we can get together in a Zoom meeting and actually talk through some of that. So I like some of these examples in here, which is great. Colleges, a college advisor using graduation year, that's great. Target people based on their company, course interests, and then generalist for broad updates. Awesome. Those are the standard, ways to use segmentation. There's probably a lot of other creative ways, but let's keep rolling. And if you have any questions, I saw one roll in and we'll try to get that as soon as possible. But you're using segmentation. Now what? We want to start using automation. We want to make sure that we're making our lives easier, like I do in my home. Marketing automation is convincing the right people to need what you provide at the right time. So you're going to send the right message to the right person, your persona or your avatar, right? Because you identified who they are, what kind of content they want, and you're using segmentation. But now we need to hit them when the time is right. 9 out of 10 marketers, you use more than one form of automation. Now, I bet there's probably at least one person on this webinar or who will watch this video recording that doesn't use automation at all. And today's call to action is to use automation, because again, not as high as segmentation, but you should receive a better ROI, or in this situation, a 451% increase in qualified leads if you use leads. It's a great way to get in front of people is to send a message at the right time. And segmentation and automation, they should just come together, get married, and have a marketing platform baby, right? You have to use these in tandem. And if you're not, you're just not doing it right. Again, with segmentation, we were talking about, the information you have and then the triggers that happen or what they're doing and not doing behavioral. Same thing with automation. You can trigger an automation based on data. Hey, if somebody falls into this segment of favorite color equals blue or city equals Raleigh, let's go ahead and start this sequence or make a decision in this sequence. And then you have your triggers. Hey, I'm going to send this email and I'm going to wait 2 days. And if they didn't open or click in this email, I want to resend that email with a different subject line. This allows you to nurture people, because Nearly was talking about sign-up forms and QR codes, which I've seen them everywhere now, not only on menus, for restaurants or on tables to click to get the menu, but I'm seeing them more and more. And I actually use them during conferences to get people to get reports that I'm giving away. You should be sending a welcome email once you get that subscriber and get that email address, because the only thing you really need is an email address and a first name to start a relationship. First name is for personalization. And Nearly showed you that there are situations where you can get more information, but you need to send that welcome email. Better yet, why don't you send a nurture series, which is a welcome series? And you can trigger it based on when people are added to a list, or again, based on the data you have. We have our empowered consumer. Right away, you're going to send that welcome message, or as soon as you get back from a conference and you collected email addresses, you're going to add them to iContact. You're going to send that welcome email. Hey, here we are. We're in your inbox. Thank you for having us. Here's what you can expect from us. Hope to have a great relationship with you. Wait a few days, and then there's the emotional appeal. That's where you beg them to buy from you. Just kidding. This is where you really start to hit them with information around your values, your mission, what you do in the community, maybe a little bit about you or your leadership, something like that, so people get to know you. Then you're going to go ahead and send a differentiator email a few days later. This is an email maybe talks about why you're different than your competitor, why we should do business with you. And last but not least, just for this example, that's where you give them the incentive to buy from you. It could be a discount or a heavy call to action, because you should not be selling in every single email. As Gary Vaynerchuk would say, jab, 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 right hook, which is the name of his book. He talks about providing value, providing value, providing value, then hitting them with the right hook, which is the sales question or the hook to get them to buy. Same thing with email. Don't sell in every single email. Provide value, then ask them to buy from you. Don't sell, ask them to buy from you. Nearly is going to go through and talk about some automation examples right within iContact.
Perfect. Thanks, Hank, for the wonderful explanation about how automation works and how automation you can use for the welcome series. So now let's look at the example, how it looks like when you actually set that up in your iContact account. So this is the example. This is how your screen will look when you actually go and set up your welcome series. So here's a workflow of an automation example. You have an audience and the condition you selected to send your welcome email to. You send out your first email, then you wait. After a few days, again, you send another email. Then you check and see who opened your email and send the first version of your next email to those who open, and the another version to those people who did not open. Let them know more about, as Hank mentioned earlier, like let them know how you are different than the competitors. If you are providing any extra services, like how excellent your support team is, or if you are offering any design services, you are offering any strategy planning to your customers, let them know more about it. So now that's the time you continue to send emails and then check and see if they have become your customers. Based on that determination, you can then either add them to your customer workflow or to a re-engagement list and try to nurture them back to get them into the fold. Okay, look at the next example. You can also create an automation based on specific date. For example, there is some conference event coming up, or there's a trade show you are organizing in particular location. You want to let your audience know about it. So select a date when the event is happening. Select your audience, put the condition. For example, send out this automation email to people who are in Raleigh or people who are based in Ottawa, because that's where the conference or the trade show is happening. Send out your first email, then wait for a few days, check the results, who open your email, send out the next email, let them know more in detail, who's gonna present, who will be there, what information you're gonna cover at the event. Or people who did not open your previous emails, send out your first email again to them. Try to engage with them. It is always good to send a reminder email before the event. So right few days before, you can remind to them that, hey, there is an event coming up, don't forget to visit. And this is where you can check in, or if there is any entry procedure, you can let them know about it. Okay, so once the event is done, if you want to communicate something with your attendants who attended your webinar or your trade show, share thank you note that thank you for attending our event. Or if you have promised something that you will share after the webinar or the event, share those information with them. So you can really utilize automation to do this job for you. You don't need to go each and every time, select particular contact and send out this stuff. You can actually automate it and you can send out your emails. Another example of automation which is widely used to maintain your list hygiene, which is segment qualification based on non-openers. To begin with, you should check your email list for unengaged contacts and attempt to re-engage with them. Look out for the people who haven't opened your email for, let's say, 6 months or a year. Send them a re-engagement email. Ask them what are the reasons, or you can let them know more about what else things you can offer. And if still you are not getting any responses, they are still not opening your emails, you can update your contacts, move them from your regular list to do not send list, and utilize those list of contacts for the re-engagement later on. You can set up a set of emails to send out to them. Another automation example I would like to show you here is based on custom date. So we discussed earlier that there are some restaurants who offer free meal or special discounts on birthdays. So you can actually select the audience, put a condition, and based on that, you can create a custom date automation. If you want to let them know about their expiration of subscription, if you want to let them know renew their subscription, get in touch with them. If you want to share some recipes with them, you can actually use all these things to automate it. So this is what we show as a custom automation example, how it makes email marketing easier and effective. But there is more. Hank is going to explain how you can get maximum out of it.
For me, there's one huge reason or the best use of automation, and I want to give you a hint. It's being clean as a whistle. Some of you may be getting this, some of you maybe not. There was an example, and it's list hygiene. You should be looking at people who have not opened your email in a certain amount of time and removing them from your list. I just heard marketers everywhere gasp, remove subscribers from my list? What kind of demonic translation is that? The reason you want to do this is you do not want people who are disengaged on your email list. Reason being, when you send emails, it's being graded, not by a teacher, but it's being graded by the powers that be at Google, Yahoo, and every server everywhere. When good things happen in your email, like opens, clicks, forwarding, starring, doing something called TINs, or marking it as this is not spam, actually going into the spam folder, saying this is not spam. I love my email from David and I want those emails. Those are the good things. Bad things, I usually ask for these, but in essence of time, I'm going to tell you. When they bounce, they're invalid. When they unsubscribe, when they mark it as spam, and more importantly, when they ignore your emails. When they ignore your emails, folks, what happens? It's a negative thing or a negative type of action that happens to your email. How is that? Because Gmail, I always use Gmail because they have the strictest algorithm in everywhere also, but Gmail, they'll say, hey, there's a number of people that are marking this message, messages from this marketer are spam, it's bouncing. But more importantly, 40% of their Gmail subscribers are not even opening emails. They're spammers. They should not be allowed to see the light of day in our inbox, and more of your emails are going to end up going to spam. So what you want to do is make sure you're sending emails to people that want your emails, that are going to engage with them. So give them time, 6 months, a year, whatever it is. Go ahead and remove them from your list, or do something like a list hygiene process. You want to identify non-openers. Narrowly showed you an example of that, but maybe we don't want to do that because why, folks, shift happens. Really, it does. And for the first time in a long time, a big change has happened with email marketing. In 40 years, there's not been a big change such as this. I don't know how many of you have an Apple device, but if you do and you recently upgraded to iOS 15, the iPad OS 15, or your Mac, and you're using the built-in email platform or email app on your phone, you're possibly using this new feature that Apple implemented. What's happening is every time you send an email to someone like me on my phone, I didn't even open or unlock my phone, right? You send me an email, it's going to count as an open. I didn't even read it. I didn't open it, but Apple's going to say it was opened. They're trying to protect your privacy. They're also going to hide your location information, your IP address. So we can't target you based on location. Why is this important? Because marketers everywhere have been saying, I have great subject lines. I'm going to send my email and people are going to open it. Keyword here is open, folks, because if they open, they're going to see the awesome content that I have. They're going to click through and they're going to buy from me. We're basing all of our success on an open rate. I have a 20% open rate. Well, yeah, sure. Well, you better buy me a beer because mine's 40%. Have you ever had that conversation in a bar? Maybe I just gave away too much information. I don't know. I like to brag about my open rates, but you shouldn't be bragging about your open rates. You really should be looking at your clicks, because now that opens are kind of not as relevant. You want to look at people who actually click on items in your content. Now, you might want to look at the type of content you're sending so you can try to get those clicks. But again, don't focus on clicks or even opens as your North Star. You need to be looking at a lot of different things that are happening with your email marketing program. Start getting a different mindset. Let me ask you a question. Get ready to go into chat. We have version A with a 20% open rate, 0.6% click-through rate. Then we have version B, 14% open rate and a 0.4% click-through rate. Which one would you rather have as your winner? In other words, if you had these two emails, which one in your eyes is the most successful? A or B? At least one person has the answer, or we're not moving on. I'm just going to start dancing. You don't want to see that. Version B. Somebody's smart. All right. So we got version A and we got version B. Most people might think version A is the best because it had the highest open rate. But let's take a look at some terms like revenue generated per 1,000 emails and other like click-through rate and conversion rate, right? I've always told clients that I've worked with, my job's not done until somebody buys from you. You can send an email, somebody can open it and they can click on it. But if they go to your website and never buy something, or they never book a call with you and they never, whatever, do business with you, it's not successful. So in this situation, made up numbers, folks. If we're tracking how much people are spending, the version B actually did better because it made more money. You want to look at how much money your emails are making, if you could figure that out, or at least guesstimate it. Don't rely on just opens, just clicks, or opens and clicks. Look at the whole ecosystem. That's what we're here to talk about. So back to our regularly scheduled program about list hygiene. Let's move on so we can figure out how to use automation to help with this. Right now, it's a good opportunity to reintroduce yourself to old subscribers by doing this nurture series of people who haven't opened or clicked your emails. It allows you to help with your KPIs. If you cut your dead weight and your open rates go up, you can go to your boss and you can do that bragging when you're out for a cocktail. It's 5 times cheaper to keep a customer or subscriber than it is to obtain a new one. We all know that there's turnover with subscriber lists every year. Yeah, sure, 25%, but I encourage you to get that number up. Get rid of those dead weight. Get rid of it, that dead weight, so nobody's holding you down and keeping your email from not reaching the inbox. And it's a good decision, or a good time to let people choose. Maybe you're sending too many emails and you could scale back a little bit. Why should we bother with this? Why should we bother with list hygiene? Neerali's going to take it over and tell you why we should bother, and a little bit more information about the how.
Yeah, thanks, Hank. So exactly, why to bother about list hygiene or removing contacts who are not opening? We just gonna send them, right? No. According to a study by Litmus, there are 43% of Gmail subscribers click spam button rather than unsubscribe from emails. Anybody can tell me why? Anyone? Okay, so that could be because of they find content non-relevant to them. Exactly. So they find the content not relevant to them. Also, you keep sending them something which they don't even open for such a long time, because they cannot find the unsubscribe button in your email because of such confusing unsubscribing process. Or sometimes it asks you to log in if you want to unsubscribe. Trust me, unsubscriber can be a good thing, but being marked as spam is worse. And that's why you have to maintain the list hygiene and clean up your non-openers. But the question is how often you should clean your list. Everybody must be following this list hygiene process, cleaning up the list, or as I saw your responses, that you are using segmentation and automation. So if anyone can tell me how frequently you are doing that.
We're keeping
Is
people
it a
busy today
month?
with the chat.
Yeah, I see lots of responses. Real time. Yeah, that's a good answer. Every few weeks. Okay. Or never? Anybody's here for never? I don't think so. Yeah, that works for you once a year. Good. So actually, there is no right or wrong answer to this question. It completely depends on how frequently you are engaging with your clients. It depends on what's your sending frequency. If you are sending weekly or if you are sending monthly. So if you send weekly, it is recommended to perform list hygiene every 6 months. But let's say if you are sending monthly basis, so it is recommended to perform your list hygiene every 12 months. But again, it depends on what campaigns you are following or how do you engage with your clients. And what to do with those clients who are non-engaging with you. You can break it down, make a non-opener segment, create a list of them, and start a journey with them. Set up a journey, break it down, send first email, second message, third message, figure out what's bothering them, why they are not opening your emails. Send out first email saying that we miss you. Let them know why you are getting in touch with them. Remind them why they signed up with you at the first place. Give them an opportunity to change what they receive. Like give them some kind of sign up form if they want to hear about this, or that. If still you are not getting any response, set up your second message. When it comes to it comes to as emotional appeal. Send some coupon codes or let them know more about what you are offering, what new you added to your services or any updates with your product. If they are still not opening, send a final email asking about, are you sure that you don't want to hear from us? If there is any other social channel they would like to get in touch with us, if email is too much. So this is what you can actually do based on people who are opening your emails or clicking on that. So this is very similar example we saw earlier, and as Hank explained earlier, of doing a list hygiene following non-opener segment. You can follow a non-click re-engagement with the customers who are not clicking to your email and set up the automation for that. Make it effective. Save your time on this.
So these are some examples of a couple emails that were used for list hygiene, and these were emotional to me. They tugged at my heartstring. I really like JetBlue's email here because they're toying with the idea of breaking up, which you saw in some previous slides. You know, they ask you to choose how and when you want to receive emails. They're empathetic to how many emails subscribers are getting. That your inbox might be full or overflowing, and they show that you understand. Then we have Typeform, and this one's pretty cool as well. You know, they are basically saying, we noticed that you're not opening our emails. We, asking them directly that, hey, we want you to stay with us. And they have one CTA to get people to go back to the site. This is a good example of getting somebody to click to engage with the email. So we're filtering out those folks with those Apple devices. And we know these people really want the email. And we're showing people, again, that we're understanding. Make sure that you're getting personal with your subscribers and that you're not just robotic when you're creating your content and not using AI to create your content. And yes, there are sites out there that can help you write your emails, blog posts, and website copy, folks. So you might have learned I'm not lazy after all. I may speak pretty fast and have a lot of passion around marketing, but I'm efficient. I use my phone more than anything to automate. I have a NFC sticker on my door frame that I'm pointing to over here. And when I tap my phone on it, it turns the lights on in my office. Is that lazy or is that efficient? You be the judge. But you can now be efficient and not lazy when it comes to email marketing by using segmentation and automation, the dynamic duo, because they do go together. Let's recap, because there was so much for us to unpack, so much for you to learn, And I think you learned a little bit too much about me, which is okay, but I need to give you some takeaways so you can feel inspired and move forward. So segment your lists by using action and data. And if you're currently doing it, go back and look, especially look at your non-opener segmentation based on what we just talked about today. So maybe that's one takeaway for you. And the other one is use automation to send the right message to the right person at the right time. I know we got a bunch of questions. We're coming up on time. I'm going to stay. If Nearly can, that's fine too. We're going to answer those questions. So if you have to leave at the top of the hour, just get the recording, skip towards the end, and I'll answer your question to you, but maybe you're not there. And if you could stay with me, that's wonderful as well. Use segmentation, use automation, and more importantly, buy more devices for your home to do work for you so you can just go in and send more emails. That's your homework. Make your life easier so you can log into iContact and send more emails. And with that, Nearly and I thank you so much for being here. You're a great crowd. You guys are so active. I don't know what it was, but whatever we said, did, or whatever how much, I don't know how much coffee you drank, but you were active in the chat. And for that, I want to say you're the best audience I've had in a while. And with that, we are going to answer some questions. And if you do want an iContact sticker, remember, give us some examples, give us a quote. One actually just went out on our social media today. It was around the AMA. He asked me anything I did a couple of weeks ago. The gentleman said that's like one of the best things he's ever heard or attended with iContact that helped him use the platform so much. Thank you for the praises there. You'll also get the survey. Let us know how we're doing, what we could be doing more of differently. We always hear more time for Q&A. We try to do that, but then I don't know, we just get wrapped up talking about iContact, but that's why we always stay late. So again, we're gonna answer some questions right now. I'll stay and answer them. If you can't stay, just get the recording, which will be sent in a few days, and then you can hear your question being answered, recorded, not live. All right, so I have a question here. I don't know who it was because it was anonymous. Are we going to discuss what it would look like to tailor different emails to different segments? For example, to use different copy, subject lines, deals, frequency of emails, etc. What it comes down to really is like that persona or that avatar I spoke about. In other words, if you are going to segment based on location, you might want to pull in content for that location. If I have a seminar, workshop, webinar in Raleigh, North Carolina, I might want to tell people how to dress to come there. Maybe it's winter and I want them, I need to tell them to bring a coat. That we're expecting snow, hardly ever in Raleigh, but we could tell them that. And maybe, hey, after the workshop, we know it ends around 5 o'clock. Here are 3 great places to eat that I would recommend. Something like that, right? So you're using the segmentation information based on location, and you're giving helpful information in your email based on that location. So like actions is, we noticed that you're interested in X. Here's some more information, complementary information. And of course, your subject lines vary based on the different types of emails you're sending. Hopefully that was helpful to the anonymous asker. If that didn't clarify things, go ahead and ask another question that gets to the point, and we'll go for that. All right. So Diane, let me answer this one, and then Nearly, maybe you could take the next one. Does iContact have staff that can help, that can be hired for setting up specific automation segmentation? Glad you asked, Diane. We have account managers, and you can set up a subscription where you can work one-on-one with your account manager. We also have designers, folks. If you want some of those cool looking forms that you saw, we can actually build those for you. We can help you build custom sign-up forms for your website. We can have somebody work with you, have an email marketing expert work with you hand in hand as much as you want. We just can't physically drive them to your house, but you can work with them as much as you want. And your subscription would just be tailored to have that. Something we've had for years. The customers that use that service love it. Some people buy it, never use it, and then they decide, hey, I don't need it. And that's fine. But if you really want the help, you want an expert to work with, we can help you there. All right, so Nearly, Colleen's asking, how does iContact categorize those who are no info versus open or non-open?
Yeah, so Colin, if you want to know about who are opening your emails or not opening your emails, there is a reporting feature we have available in the iContact. Like you can go to your email which you send out to your audiences, and you can actually check which people open your email and who did not open your email. And based on that, you can create a segment if you want to plan your next send out emails, or maybe if you want to plan doing some automation on that. So if this is how you can go and check into that particular, click on that particular email and then go to that reporting tabs. It shows you there.
And no info is actually a non-opener, Colleen. That's how we identified it. We don't know anything about them because they didn't open the email, didn't click on the email. And if somebody clicked, they automatically opened. We know that. So that's one way we combat the iOS 15 thing. But no info that you see in your in the reporting just basically means that they didn't open, click, or anything. They basically didn't open. Then you have your open. So hopefully that's helpful. But keep in mind, if somebody has an iPhone and it's just sitting here like me, like mine is, and you sent me an email, it counts as an open. So again, a little bit unreliable. It's a problem for everybody, not just iContact. It's something that Apple's doing that nobody's figured out how to combat yet. And there's other ones that are going to start doing the same thing. That's why you need to change not only your North Star, but look at the whole galaxy, as I mentioned earlier. Lisa asked, what is an IoT device? Internet of Things, anything that's a device that's connected to the internet, you know, your Amazon Alexa, your smart doors, smartwatch. I have a coffee mug that's probably not an Internet of Things because it doesn't connect to the internet, but I have a little coaster. It goes on and keeps my coffee warm. Love it, because I always forget to drink all my coffee because I get excited about email marketing. Next one. Lisa, want to know if I could share the resource for creating the nurture campaign. Lisa, I am not sure if it tells me your information when I look at the reports for the questions. Go ahead and send me an email, webinars@iContact. I think I actually have like a PDF I could send you. It gives you a good example. Anybody who wants that, send that email to me. I could send you an example of the workflow. If not, I can go into one of the demo accounts, which has a good structure. That's a little bit better than what we shared, to give you that example of the nurture series. Is the click-through rate out of everyone the email was sent to, or only the people who opened? Nearly, do you know the answer to that?
So click rate is, we can get the click rate if they open the email, right? So if they open your email, then only they're gonna click on your emails. So it will be the letter.
So basically, click rate is people that clicked, that were sent to, and then there's click to open rate. So that would be, and I think we give the click to open rate. So there's the percentage of people that open that actually click that actually open the email. All right. I need to look through the chat to see if there's any questions. I don't see any in the chat. Everybody's been behaving and asking their questions in the Q&A. This is a first, I think, because normally they're in both.
And Lisa is asking for your email. Maybe.
Yeah, I think I said it hopefully after she asked for it. It is webinars@icontact.com. Go ahead and send it there and we'll get that. It goes to my inbox. And I think that's it. Everybody seemed to like it. Hopefully it was good for everybody. Hopefully we encourage you to, the many of you, to go into your iContact account.
Yeah.
Start
I hope
using
everybody likes
segmentation,
it.
start using automation. We want to hear your stories. You have the email address. You can reach out to us on social media. Let us know how you're using it. If you want a sticker to, let me know about that. We can definitely give you a sticker. But we hope to see you in our next webinar, which is still being planned. We appreciate you, because without you, we cannot do these webinars. If we don't want to talk to ourselves, right? We just don't want to talk to nobody.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. We love to have this interactive audience. It's
and we have colleagues and co-workers too, Nearly. They're judging us.
I know. I'm gonna ask them about all this webinar.
Great. Don't forget, folks, you're going to get a survey. It's going to ask you information around how we did today. Make sure you score us a 5 or 6 at least. Just kidding. Whatever you think. I want you to be honest. I'm not going to tell you to give us a 10 out of 10, but give us your honest opinion. Let us know how we can do better and what we need to be doing more of. And until next time, hopefully we'll see you on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook.
Definitely.
Deal?
Thank you so much for joining. Thanks for inviting me.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, all.